Hi friends, have you ever struggled to scale up a digital photograph from your laptop or mobile onto a larger canvas using freehand drawing while still trying to maintain almost the same proportions? If so, you're not alone. In today's video, I will show you my process of how I transfer a digital photograph onto a larger canvas using the grid technique. For this painting, my subject focuses on marine conservation and is with gratitude inspired from a photograph taken by the Coastal Impact team based in Goa, who are on a long-term mission to preserve and conserve marine ecosystems all over India. The painting that I'll be recreating is called The Silent Traps, which highlights the dangers of debris, especially abandoned or ghost nets in the ocean. These nets pose a serious threat to marine life, including sea turtles, coral reefs, dolphins, and even ironically fish, and impede restoration efforts. Do check out their initiatives if you share a passion for preserving nature and its ecosystems. The links are given in the description below. I also share my experience on choosing crimson as the pre-toning color on my canvas for painting this underwater scene. So do stick around to see how it all comes together. Since my chosen image works best in a vertical format, I set my canvas accordingly. Next, I confirm the aspect ratio by measuring the width and the height of my canvas. My canvas is 18 inches wide by 24 inches tall, which gives me an aspect ratio of 3:4, a common and a convenient size. Step 2 is setting up the grid in Canva. First, I open Canva and click on Create a Design. I usually pick a Facebook post as a starting template. Then, I click on Resize and select a custom size of 18 into 24 inches or 3:4 inches, which is the aspect size ratio. Canva conveniently suggests similar aspect ratios, making this process super easy. I upload the reference photograph and adjust its placement within the 3:4 ratio. In the Elements tab, then I search for Grid and launch the Can Grid app. This built-in tool allows me to create custom grid lines with equal squares. Then I create a 3-column grid, since my width is a multiple of 3, and adjust the stroke thickness to keep the lines minimal. Next, I duplicate the grid and extend it to fill the canvas. I then create similarly a 4-row grid for the height and overlay it. And now my image is perfectly divided into a grid system of equal squares that also matches my canvas proportions. Step 3 is prepping for sketching. I download this gridded reference image as a PNG and open it in a PowerPoint to simulate my toned canvas. I simply change the slide's background color to match my colored toned canvas. With my reference ready, I recreate the same grid lines on my pre-toned canvas using an acrylic paint marker. This step makes sketching much easier because each square helps maintain almost proper placement and proportions. I personally like to keep my sketch loose, focusing on the basic forms before moving on to painting. You, of course, as an artist, can choose to go as detailed as you like. This grid technique workflow, from a reference photograph to sketching onto a larger canvas, helps me almost maintain proportions when I'm working with larger artworks. Let me know in the comments below if you use grids or prefer freehand sketching. Step 4 is time for oils. The next day, I begin with the oil painting process, bringing this vision to life. One of the favorite parts of this project was using crimson to tone my canvas. While it seems like an intriguing technical choice for an underwater setting, I believe it did serve me well. I used a lot of cool tones for this painting, one of which is turquoise blue mixed with titanium white for the top part of the canvas, depicting water just beneath sea level on the left. For the dark tone section near the boulders underwater on the right, I mixed a bit of deep, warm Van Dyke brown. Crimson complements cooler tones, and an underwater setting like this often has blues and greens. A crimson undertone helped provide a natural contrast, making the overlaying cool tones pop while I painted. For the rest of the video, you can sit back and enjoy the painting process in time-lapse, and I'll take you through some of the key moments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications on my upcoming videos. For the part depicting deeper oceans, I primarily used a highly pigmenting Prussian blue, which has a natural cool green undertone. I mixed in parts crimson in some places and dark toned greens and yellows in others. I also experimented with Payne's Grey additionally for the darkest tones I desired. Burnt sienna helped me bring in a sense of sunlight hitting the rocks underwater on the left side. For the fish, especially in the fins and the tail section, I tried both titanium white and zinc white. I found zinc white was a better choice due to its semi-transparency. It not only helped give a sense of light coming through the delicate fins, but also depicts the fragility of its living form. I used a bit of cadmium yellow mixed in white to also create some warm highlights, while leaving some of the cooler crimson undertones for contrast. Friends, not all heroes wear capes. And the Coastal Impact team are heroes wearing diving suits. One of their main efforts lie in specializing in coral restoration and marine biodiversity surveys that they perform to establish research-guided or data-driven action plans to revitalize critical coastal ecosystems. You can check out their website or social media handle, links of which are given in the description below, to know more. Probably the only warmest highlight in this cool hues dominated painting is the cadmium orange used for the corals mixed with a bit of crimson. The ghost net was one of the toughest to do, and I honestly procrastinated on this for weeks before finally getting the courage to paint it with a light touch. With a bit more of highlights on the net, I think this painting will now be ready in the coming days. So friends, to summarize, in this video, I shared the process of the grid technique, which helps enlarge a digital photograph onto a canvas, helping you maintain almost similar proportions. The subject was on marine conservation and the perils of ghost nets that endanger marine ecosystems as well as impede restoration efforts. I also shared my experience of using an unusual crimson toning of my canvas for painting an underwater scene. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried using crimson for toning your canvas and how was the experience. Happy painting and thanks for watching.